When someone close to you loses a loved one, what's better to say than I'm sorry? I'm a big believer in feeding the grieving. Losing someone, especially suddenly, is a huge shock to most people, and they find it hard to eat. There's not much to say that will make it better, but acts of service, such as giving them food, cleaning their apartment if they're too depressed, or even just taking their car to refill their gas tank, can help a lot when someone's in that frame of mind. However, I will note this. When I miscarried, a nurse came into the room and said, "I know that nothing I can say will make this better, but I'd like to give you a hug." I have lost many people in my life, and that was the best response to my grief I have ever experienced. Everybody is going to say to them, "Let me know what I can do for you." But the person will never ask for anything. Instead, make some suggestions. Say things like, "I'd like to bring over some food. Is there anything you are allergic to? I know a great house cleaning service that owes me a favor. What would be a good time for them to come by? You could use some me time. When you're ready, here's a pass for a mani, pedi and spa." Sadly, at 31, I have lost my mother in 2008, my 2-year-old daughter in 2016, and my sister in 2018. If you're talking about at funerals, family gatherings etc., it doesn't matter too much. It's just a long blurry dreamlike state for a lot of people. They also know that you probably don't know what to say. They don't either. Don't be afraid to bring up good times. It hurts, but it's also healing. Don't say they're in a better place, you'll meet again, they're always with you. That shit gets sold fast. I get why people say it, but nobody is ready for that shit at funerals. All they want is that person back. Save that for another day. Just say it from the heart. More often than not, at the very least, you'll get an E for effort. When my parents passed, 12 days apart, I heard all the platitudes to the point I could blow chunks. A high school friend simply said "I'm sorry," and I found that to be the most impactful thing said to me. The best thing is to listen instead of trying to think of the perfect words to make it better. Sometimes saying nothing at all and just sitting near them in silence so that they know they aren't alone is better than saying anything. Some people hate this, and it's understandable, but the most comforting thing I was told after losing my dad was, "It's just going to suck for a while." After tolerating mountains of, "I'm so sorry, I know how you feel, God is watching over him now, blah 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 etc., I thought I was going to snap all over again. A dear friend held me close and told me, "It's just going to suck for a while. Life will suck for a while, but it's going to pass, come back, pass, and come back again over and over. It'll never stop entirely hurting." I cried harder than I had since he was diagnosed, but they were tears of relief and release. Her words still comfort me almost 3 years later, but I know for a fact not everyone would appreciate it. I suppose those words are just good if you know your loved one has a disdain for repetitive pleasantries and religious explanations. I faced this yesterday. My partner found out his friend he'd known for over 10 years passed unexpectedly. I continued to say I'm sorry, but I also scratched and massaged his head, his favorite thing, and mostly stayed quiet. Don't say "I know how you feel." You don't. Everyone processes grief in a different way. You might have had the exact same loss in the exact same way, but your process is different from theirs. Don't assume you know what they're feeling. A year after my father passed away, my aunt called my mom to commiserate on the loss. My aunt was very emotional, and said, "Well, you know, it's been a year." After she got off the phone, my mom angrily said, "Yeah, and next year it will be 2, and the year after that will be 3. My aunt wanted to mark the occasion, and my mom didn't want to be reminded. And my process was different than my brother's, and his was different than my sister's. Just be there for each other. It's okay not to be okay, and take as long as you need to grieve. Don't let anyone tell you that you should stop grieving because it's been X amount of time. These are things I wish people, and especially my family, would have told me when my grandmother passed. Instead I was forced to move on, and I never got to grieve properly. Now I'm an adult who is all fucked up. A hug. The son of a family friend was shot and killed at a party just before Christmas many years ago. I told her that I knew damn well that there was no way I could understand what she was going through, so I wouldn't try to offer advice. but I would be there to help with things she needed to get done. Over the following couple days, I drove her around town, such as to and from the police station, and to make arrangements for his body. She later told me that meant more to her than anything anyone else had said to her. She was sick of hearing "I'm so sorry" or platitudes about what a great guy he was, and said that me treating her semi-normally, I wouldn't crack lame jokes to lighten the mood like I normally would, and just being there to help without all the bullshit condolences was what helped her the most those few days. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.